Wait, stop. Oh, here we go. Oh, should we? Sorry.
Hi guys, welcome to Streamily Studios. We have the cast of Monster Squad here in the studio. Ryan Lambert and Andre Gower, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Yep.
We have tons and tons of awesome fans that have asked for prints from you guys and are super excited to see you here.
Well, that's what a coincidence, because that's what we came to do.
Wow.
So it worked out great.
Is that why I'm here?
Don't worry about it. We'll just tell
Oh,
you.
okay.
We'll
Just tell me where to go.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yay, internet. Love the interwebs. It's great. Hey, everybody.
Hi. How's it
Good to see
going?
you. Hope everybody's wearing pants, or it's internet. Maybe not. Who cares?
Don't wear pants. Don't wear pants.
Pants is the new thing.
All right, well, our first print is a actual, look how cool this is, guys, a Monster Squad poster print. And the first one is to Kian.
Keen. Yeah,
Keen.
yeah. We'll be doing okay.
How you doing, Keen?
None. Well, just starting off.
You
Go
came
ahead.
right back.
Go right ahead.
I'm first.
You're first. Go
Okay.
ahead. We'll let you
What
go
am I
first.
doing here? So
I
just
think it's,
just a sig?
just
To
a
sig?
sig.
Kian.
all right. I'm gonna do that right here. Ryan, Lambert.
Steel black one.
do a little of this too. There you
Got
go.
it. All right. Where's Ryan's? Where's that? Is that one on too? The C's, or is it just the? All right. Let's get it going.
Perfection.
Awesome.
Perfection.
We're good at this.
You're
Yeah, good. We're getting warmed up already. We've been doing it for a decade and a half now. So it's really good.
I wish it was every
30
day.
something.
I wish we could talk to you every single day.
Bam. One done for Keen. There we go.
Awesome. And we have a question.
Oh,
A lot of people say that this movie is very much Goonie meets Universal Monsters.
Goonies.
who's that?
Goonies. Goonies. I think.
I've heard of them.
I'll
Heard of them.
I'll Google that.
How would you say that this movie, such an amazing cult following classic, how would you say that it inspired future movies, future Halloween movies even?
I would say a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like, it was part of this like wonderful '80s phenomenon of like children going out and like figuring things out without parental units being present. And there was like this little bunch of films that sort of did that sort of thing. As far as monsters are concerned, I believe the Monster Squad was maybe the only one that was like a group of kids that fought these particular monsters. And I think the trend sort of picked up again in this era because there's such an '80s revival that now you see things like It and Stranger Things, and sort of it kind of goes along with what the Monster Squad sort of represented and what it was. I don't know about these Goonies kids, though.
Goonies. Yeah,
What did they do?
I have to look those up.
What did those guys do?
No. That's all right. The Goonies are great. The Goonies are great. Goonies have great fans. The Goonies were great. That's saving their neighborhood from a developer.
And look at this, we have tons and tons of comments already. We have Gamma here says, hi, oh my God, this is so cool.
Well, hey, how are you?
We've got
This is cool.
Cool Gamer saying hi.
Cool gamer. What's up?
Hi.
Nice and simple. I like they keep it simple.
Kim Steele says hello.
Oh, hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Awesome. So our next print is to Michelle A.
Michelle.
Chalet.
And Michelle wants you to say, kick him in the nards.
I think we can do that. Michelle, I think we can do that. We gotta do that.
We'll do.
Yeah,
We'll get
So we
it.
put Michelle up on here.
Yeah, you put Michelle up there. Hi, Michelle. I wish we could like talk. Like we should be able to have a conversation.
I know.
We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out later.
While you guys are signing this, I had a funny fan question from a guy named Jason Wilkinson who wanted to know, what did you guys think of Dracula calling 5-year-old Phoebe a bitch?
That's always a That's always a well-known piece of dialogue from the script, which I'm gonna bet was a Shane Black line. I think at the time, but actually, that's a major part of what connected with the kids that saw Monster Squad is the fact that it was authentic and it was real, and the story itself was dangerous and an adventure for these kids. But the heart and authenticity of it all, we all spoke to each other the way friends would speak to each other in the backyard and riding bikes. And then of course Dracula gets in the game, and I think there was a little bit of that shock value, but I think it absolutely worked because someone just asked about that line 35 years later.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like films have changed so much too, because you heard in 80s and 90s films, especially, a lot of more adult language and kids films that you don't really hear nowadays, but we didn't even think about it back then.
That's right, and you hear less now because you're just not allowed to do it.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, our next print is for Mick.
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 What's up, Mick? What's up, Mick?
Oh, that's a good quote. Yeah, he wants that. Okay, well, which
You're in the
print is it?
goddamn
Okay.
Oh, that's
yeah, we'll do that.
awesome.
We'll show it. Yeah, we'll do it, and then we'll show it.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna do it up there, right? Mick.
Mick.
So many great quotes in this.
Does it say where they are, Mick? He doesn't say where they actually live, right?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
Mick lives in London and Boston. It's the Rolling Stones guy.
oh hey, Mick. What's going on, Mick? The Rolling Stones guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. We've hung out with that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Alan Cook wants to know, what do you think of the staying power that this movie has 35 years after its release?
Oh, good. My time. You can answer that while I do this part.
I think what's interesting about
You already did it. I did. Oh, great. I was just
I think the staying power is a testament to Mick, what Fred and Shane put on a page and then what they put on the screen, with kind of what I said, that heart and authenticity, which wasn't the kids were the major, kind of focus of the story, right? They were the main adventurers. They were not just the offspring of some adult, lead characters. And it was all up to them, and everybody connected with that. And you didn't see that a lot even back then, and now you see it more in the 90s and in the 2000s. But I think that's what really caught with people, is the fact that it was the kids on their own solving a problem that no one else, believed in, and they were the only ones that knew what anybody was talking about, and they were the only ones that were able to solve the problem. And I think we all, as kids, love that fantasy and that dream. Is like, I want to be in that position to be able to save the world. And I think we went away from that for a while, but we're coming back to it.
Yeah, I love that.
Hi, Tammy. She said hi.
Tammy says,
Oh, Tammy's there. Hi, Tammy.
Andre. All right, our next one is for Cole.
Cole. Shout out to Cole.
I love this poster too. It's such a cool and very iconic 80s.
It is very, obviously, because I'm on it and seen it a million times, is noticeable. It's very it pops out at you.
Yeah.
It pops out for me because I'll be walking in a convention or something, I can see it out of the corner of my eye. But I think for the layman who's never seen this film, is also like, whoa, what is that? That looks like something I might want to watch. It could be, being a horror fan, and if you hadn't seen it already, most horror geeks already have seen this for sure. But I think there's also there's something about it that is just boom.
Well, that's what that plays into what box cover art's purpose was back then. That's why poster art's amazing, and a lot of people saw this on the video store shelf that they hadn't seen the movie in the theater, and was like, that, what is that? It's very eye-catching.
Right.
Macy. Our next print, look how cool this is. Got the whole gang right here.
We can just
It says,
This is for welcome to the Monster Squad, Macy. Got it.
yeah,
Let's fill that
this
out.
is for Macy.
All right.
Let's see what other questions we got here.
We got anything
Oh.
up on the thing?
Yeah.
I
let's
was
check
8
that
when the
out.
Monster Squad was released. I now have an 8-year-old. So this is what we always talk about how the generations just they keep just passing it down, and that's why
Mm.
that's why it is what it is. I think is because people saw it in the 80s, and now they showed it to their kids in the 2000s, or and then it just keeps kind of snowballing into this thing.
I think what's interesting is a lot of stories that we get when we meet, fans all over the place
Yeah.
about having their own set of kids that have now been introduced to the film itself. Like Kim was saying, I wonder if Kim has had this dynamic as well. We get a lot of stories and interaction that like this movie hits different now that I'm a parent.
Yeah.
I still love it; it's still my thing, but I now view it from a different perspective. And sometimes it's it's different, sometimes it's better, and sometimes you're like, holy crap.
I mean, I don't really even think I've seen a movie like this where it really gives you all those legendary monsters.
Not all at once,
Yeah.
except for Universal tried with Van Helsing at a time.
Van
They
Helsing.
kind of avengered them all together.
And the
Um,
Abbott and Costello stuff too. They kind of all smushed them in there.
but were they all together, or they one-offs? They were. I mean, they
There was
teamed
like
up at
Abbott and
the
Costello meets
end.
Frankenstein, but it
and,
also like they were all in the same. They're in it. They're all in it.
Yeah,
There's a few
and
of them.
that was what's interesting about this, because if anybody has read the the origin story of Monster Squad or watched, what's that documentary called?
I think it's called Wolfman's Got Nards.
Oh yeah, Wolfman's Got Nards.
A documentary.
At the Squad Doc. Fred Decker talks about the kind of the the origin of the story. He said, what would it look like if the Little Rascals fought the classic Universal monsters? Which is kind of a weird question, and yet it looks exactly like the
It's
monster.
exactly supposed to be. Yeah, right. That's what it's supposed to be. Kim.
Kim says she has been a member of the goddamn club since 1987.
Yes, Kim, you have. You definitely have.
And this
I got
year
one
is
more
perfect.
year on you on that. I got 1 year up on you on that.
We start listening.
I'm in the goddamn club.
Oh, wait.
Thank
We
you.
can't-
Monster Squad is always and will be one of my favorite movies. Kids Inc. was such a huge part of my childhood.
Kids Inc. We got a Kids Inc. fan in the house.
I gotta go.
No,
the other.
stay,
Oh, I gotta
stay.
I gotta go to the Kids Inc. room.
No, that's
Oh,
later.
I'm
No,
saying.
we-
Oh,
you
I'm
don't
doing the
have
Kids
to-
Inc. room later.
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
signing. We're just
Oh,
signing.
this is the Monster Squad room. Okay.
That's right. Who doesn't love Kids Inc?
I was the K. I was the K.
Kids and Gold. He'll sing it with you.
With
So
you.
this is for Kim. Yeah, you have to show up at
An event, and I
here's
will
the-
sing it with
if you show up at an event and you ask Ryan, you get to sing the Kids Inc. theme song together.
It only costs $3,000.
You got a license to tune it all. No, it's amazing. I've seen it dozens of times. It's fascinating. I love it. All right, let's get Kim signed.
Someone wants to know, what is your favorite memory from filming the movie?
That's so tough. There's so many good.
The day we wrapped and I didn't have to hang out with
I
him
know. I
anymore.
never had to see him ever again.
Wait, what what was the question? Was favorite memory of shooting?
Favorite memory of filming the movie?
I personally like it's sort of in a retrospective way, because I see how films are made these days with kids and how like just everything's got to be like so like beep bop boop, like everything's just so pinpointed and everything. And back then it was just like, let's just make a movie with kids, there weren't so many rules. We kind of like there was a little guerrilla going on there. I probably shouldn't call these people out, but like
There were still rules.
there was rules. I mean,
There was ways to
there
kind
was
of, like,
supposed to be
to
rules, and
get
then we kind of went
something-
like this around it so we could do certain
just
things.
a couple times.
And
Just a
it
couple
wasn't that crazy, but like I probably shouldn't have been able to like climb up the tree into the janky clubhouse to like just put the
Right.
binoculars out the window.
Right.
I wasn't supposed to do that. That was a stunt thing, but I did it anyway. I think a lot of the language we said, obviously, that we already hit on that a little bit. But mostly I think it was just like, people think like, oh, you guys must have had so much fun, kids like doing things. It's like, we were kind of making a movie like as actors, which is sort of a job.
It's a lot of work.
It's
Like,
yeah, you can't mess around on a set like that. So we
Certainly
kind of
can't.
had to just kind of buckle down and do our thing. There was certainly fun particulars for sure. I mean, I loved the scene when Rudy shoots the Wolfman. I loved shooting that scene. There was a lot going on around me. Cops like skidding and like then falling, and there was a lot of like action going on in front of me. And then I pull out the bullet and I, bang, and then John Grease goes down onto the sidewalk. That was fun. I mean, it's better than I guess working at Taco Bell.
not that there's anything wrong with Taco Bell, because I've eaten a lot of Taco Bell in my day back in that day. But yeah, I think probably overall that last week or 10 days shooting that final kind of sequence was just pick a minute, and that was kind of a highlight. And so we had 10 days or 2 weeks of highlights that you'll never gonna forget. And so I always pick out when someone asks me this, it's probably standing behind the camera and watching them throw Wolfman out and blow him up in midair, to watch that effect actually happen in real life. I saw that, and that was pretty cool.
That's so cool, because so many things now are digital, and back then it was all very much practical effects.
Yes, and you can tell, and it makes a big difference. And they would have just not thrown Wolfman out the window and blown him up digitally, and he would have been I don't know, wetter. Because like Wolfman blows him, he's kind of dry, but then he's all gross and slimy, and he comes back together, and like that's all real practical effects. It's a little gnarly.
MP Garcia, not counting your all-time. What does he say? Not counting your all-time. Which Fred Decker film is your favorite? House.
I'll go with
Although
House.
he didn't really.
But Night of the Creeps was great.
Night of the Creeps
was great.
Maybe only because they reference.
Yeah, maybe if you're a Night of the Creeps fan, and do you know that there's a Monster Squad Easter egg in the bathroom scene in Night of the Creeps, we will leave it at that. You can go find it. And the backstory to that is Fred learned that Monster Squad got greenlit that day of shooting that scene of Creeps, and so he had his art department do a little Easter egg celebration of that news, and which is pretty rad.
Awesome.
Who we got?
Our next one is to Scott and Sophia.
Okay.
Scott and Sophia.
Sophia is my daughter, and she is 5. She loves the movie as I did growing up. At least the parts she can watch. So
Aww. I would love to know what parts she's not allowed to watch.
Can you let her know she is a part of the squad?
Of course. Sophia, you are definitely in the club.
Sophia, you are in forever.
It's official. He said it. He's the leader. He gets to decide. I don't know. I feel after.
No, I think it's a.
I think with how you, Nadia, we get to.
It's a committee.
It's a committee.
Yeah,
It's a committee.
Because have we not allowed someone in? Has there been someone that we didn't let in?
Oh, there's plenty of people.
Yeah, that's right.
So
So
not allowed.
you still got to be.
It's an
You still got to be
exclusive.
knowledgeable. You still got to be cool. You still got to be a little nerdy, and because there's nothing wrong with any of those 3 things. And then it goes to committee, and you get in. But Sophia,
Monster test though.
of course.
Passed. Flying colors. Actually, I schooled.
Falling onto a power tool. I didn't like the power tool, but
dumb
it's
line.
funny. It's funny. I mean, falling out of a window onto a bomb could happen. It can happen.
All right. Oh, this one's for Gemma, who we
Oh,
saw.
hey,
that's right. Oh, and this is her. I met Mary Ellen Trainer a couple of years before she died, and we chatted about Monster Squad. She loved you guys.
Aw.
Well, she's everybody's favorite movie mom, and she was awesome. And yeah, we lost her a couple years ago, right? But I wish I had seen her, prior to that, but it had been a long time. She's definitely, talk about a staple of the era. I mean, she's doesn't get any better. Let's see. Boom. That's a cool little print. This is
Might have you hold it up so she can get a screenshot of you guys
of course.
here at
Yeah.
Streamily Studios holding her print.
Let's do that. It's easy. Ready? Ryan's got it.
All
Doesn't get
right.
Kaboom. Thanks, Gemma.
All right, let's go to the next
2 ways to
one.
kill a werewolf. 2 ways.
There's more.
He said 2 ways.
It's in.
There's
yeah.
only 1 way.
No, that's not true.
That's the
no.
one way. There's only 1 way to kill a
No,
werewolf.
it's anything with silver.
Told you.
Anything with silver. It's anything with silver. What we got next? Who we got? Oh,
Big Mike.
Big Mike. Big Mike. Get that any quote you prefer. That's not cool too. We got you, Big Mike. We got you, Big Mike. Oh, we got the group here. Think what's a good one for Big Mike?
Do you guys have a favorite legendary monster?
It's Creature from Black Lagoon. He's my guy. He's my
It's a
guy.
good one.
He's my guy.
I like the Bride of Frankenstein.
Really?
Mhm.
That's an interesting answer. Why?
The only reason I can think of is because I love that film itself.
Yeah.
I think it's out of all of the Universal monster films, I think it's one of the best put together.
Mhm.
If you're a fan of David Lynch, go watch The Bride of Frankenstein. That's all I have to say, because it is absolutely just out of control bonkers. It's so weird. It's not like your typical it's like there are very strange things that happen in that film, and I love it. Creature, that's your deal.
I just like him because.
Have you ever seen it in actual 3D?
No, which I'd love to, because that first hand coming out, that shot did really some good stuff.
very cool.
I was, Creature, a la Frankenstein, or sort of like Frankenstein's monster. Little misunderstood. Yeah, is he creepy? Is he killing people? Yeah, but you know what? They're in his pond. They're in his pool. Like this is my space. Not my space. Like a social media thing.
They don't know what that is.
He doesn't have. Our fans are older. They know what MySpace is.
Okay. 2 ways to
But I mean, Creature's he's just swimming around trying to be Creature, and people getting his, they're like, now we're here and we're going to screw it up for you. So he was trying to battle that a little bit. And then he wanted to hang out with the good looking lady. He probably went about it wrong. Then of course we have to kill the creature. It's bad. Instead of saying, what is this thing? It's like they wanted to capture him, kill him and put him in a museum or put him on TV. Like Creature 3 is good. You've seen the Creature, the third one?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, that one's crazy too. Because they like bring him to San Francisco.
Creature from the Purple Lagoon?
Creature from the San Francisco Bay.
Okay.
Our next print is for Jake.
Jake.
What's up, Jake?
What's up, Jake?
Jake's like, I'm not
Jake.
Jake's like, I'm not even here.
I'm not even here. I'm not even saying that. Best of times, Jay-Z, crew. Colorado. From Steve-O.
Got very excited about that.
That's greetings from Colorado. We're gonna be there, right?
We are going, yes,
We'll
we
be in
will
Denver.
we will be in Denver on the 29th.
Mm.
So if you are anywhere near Denver, who wrote Colorado? Where'd you see that? Where?
Mr.
Oh, Mr. Big Ape,
Yes.
or Big Agape 1. I think it is Big Agape. Greetings from Colorado from Steve-O. Steve-O, if you are in Denver area on the 29th, the Alamo Draft House, Sloan's location, Ryan and I will be there showing Monster Squad and then hanging out and answering questions. So be there.
Awesome.
Pants optional.
Ooh, optional? That's a stretch.
There's ends.
Jake, we got that one.
Okay,
There we go.
all right.
Thank you, Jake. See you in Denver.
Next one is to Kate.
Kate,
Do you guys have a favorite fan memory, a fan that has come up to you that you just has really stuck with you over the years?
a fan that's really stuck with us over the years.
Something they may have said or impacted you or made you realize, oh wow, like
I don't know if there's a particular one for me, but I in general, I do really love seeing parents come up with their offspring to tell us how much they love the film and how much now their kids love the film. We've also seen parents that are they're about to go into labor. they're like they're gonna pop any second,
That's right.
and then they say, "Oh, we already named the kid something, whatever." And then like 5 years later, we meet the kid,
oh wow.
and we're like, "Oh, and we remember, like, oh wow." So those moments for me
Yeah, that
really
happens.
mean a
Yeah.
lot because, and then the kids are like, "We love the film too." It's like, how did I met
You were
you before
in the
you were
oven,
even
like still in the oven, and watching Monster Squad. So that's because they have cool parents and awesome fans. And, I think our first experience that was Milo, was it not? It was
Milo. I was trying to remember the name.
Yeah, Milo. Was in. Was in the oven, and then a couple of years later, we hung out with Milo and actually took a photo with the real Milo. It was
so cute.
that's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
It is. That's why this whole thing is so special because it just really
It just keeps going.
Generations.
It keeps growing, and it changes and it evolves. Even though the foundation stays there and it gets, just kind of gets bigger and more solid, but it just kind of keeps going into these really cool places.
This
Is
one
it-
we're just signing this one. I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There's such a nostalgic feeling about the movie. Like I feel like there's not movies that are being made exactly like this anymore, where you just watch it. And maybe I'm biased because it's nostalgic for us because we grew up with it,
Mhm.
but there's there's like that feeling of nostalgia when you watch it.
Without a doubt, and I think it's also there's double baked nostalgia in Monster Squad because Monster Squad exists because of nostalgia. And nostalgia, this is not scientifically proven, it's just my dumbass thinking about it over the years, is, nostalgia kind of has like a 30-year, time, incubation period. And if you look at when we were hanging out in the 80s, and Fred was writing Monster Squad, and we were in the Monster Squad. The 50s were huge.
Mhm.
We had great, Grease kind of started it in the late 70s, and then we had, things like Stand By Me and Cry Baby and, Dirty Dancing. And, this 50s and 60s era was very, very cool. And so if you fast forward 30 years, we've just come out of the peak of that last 30 years. So that's why we're all jonesing for this 80s stuff now. Now we're kind of exiting into it. Now 90s is becoming nostalgic.
Starting to see things on
90s
starting to see
is-
shows
yes.
that was like this thing takes place in the 90s.
That's
Like,
right.
how about things take place in the year 2022?
No.
Like, let's make our own
No.
things.
Well,
We always have to go backwards. To
well, it's
make
because the
cool
people that are
things.
creating them and writing them want to make and create and write something that they loved when they were
Sure.
kids.
And that's why when you in the Monster Squad, where I look the way I look,
That's right.
that Rudy's character is very 50s.
Yeah.
And then he's at a 50s diner. That's like where he's hanging out.
Right.
Like Mel's Diner, basically.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it's so 50s, but it's
And
takes place
with
in
the
80s.
monster, we had the classic 40s, 50s monsters coming in. We had you as, the cool kid on the, leather jacket, Pennyloaf. You're basically James Dean, Marlon Brando, Troy Donahue, type guy.
Okay.
We're about to go into your single prints, but I just wanted to let the fans know they can still get prints at streamily.com/monster squad. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, where can I find a print? streamily.com/monster squad.
There's 300 boxes behind us. They're behind the wall. The wall goes, it's like 3 billion boxes of Monster Squad photos.
That's a lot of photos.
Yeah, so we'll be here all the rest of the year.
So Ryan, this
Yes.
one is for Nusha.
Hi, Nusha. How are you?
Just move these
Let's
out of
move
the
over
way.
there. Okay, I'll grab this
We
one.
have tons of prints
So this is
here.
to Nusha. Okay. Here we go.
We have a question here on the screen as well. Erica wants to know, which adult character would you want to be cast as in the Monster Squad?
Oh, like if we were redoing the movie and we were our age, I think Ryan and I have to play the airplane pilots.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt.
For sure. That's for Nusha. Hi, Nusha.
Awesome.
Hi, Nusha. This is Nusha too. Okay, so we got Nusha.
All right, and then Tammy.
Great fan. Got it. Okay. Tammy. There's 2 here.
Oh.
One back right
There
there.
we go.
2, Tammy. And we got Gower. Okay.
Just remind me of something on that. So we've got this one.
Missed something.
Oh.
Can we go back?
Yeah.
I think I'm supposed to write something else.
Thank
you for being a great fan. I remember it.
Okay.
Kim's back. She wrote, I hope you, Kim says, I hope you come somewhere in near Ohio. Ironically, Kim, Ryan and I were just in Northwest Ohio shooting a really cool small feature called The Demons Within. So you might have seen that on our socials. But we may be coming to the Cincinnati area sometime soon. So I'm working on that event as we speak. So, depending on where you are, maybe that will happen.
Awesome. And is there anything you guys are working on now or any places that you're going to be that you want to shout out to the fans that are out there?
Yeah, for sure. If you're watching right now, we're getting ready in a few days to head to Dallas, Texas. And we will be at a premiere party for a movie called Retro Freaks, which I'm in, and Ryan and I are going to go celebrate the kind of screening of that. And then in Dallas, Texas at the Texas Theater on Wednesday the 19th. And that's actually launching like a whole kind of world, hopefully, for these filmmakers there that we hope to be a part of their universe in the near future. But then Friday, the 21st, Ryan and I will be signing live at Dallas Vintage Toys, which is an amazing collectibles store in the Dallas area. And then that same weekend in Arlington on the 22nd, 23rd, Ryan and I will be at Retropalooza Convention in Arlington. And then a couple days of break, and then we are in Houston, Texas on the 27th at the Alamo Drafthouse in Katy. And then we are in Austin, Texas at the Alamo Drafthouse doing Monster Squad screenings and Q&As. And then we shoot up to Denver, like we mentioned, for the Sloan's location on the 29th. And then if you are a Halloween fan, not the movie, but the holiday, right? We will be in Ryan's town of San Francisco on Halloween.
A second
Oh,
home.
wow.
At the Mission Alamo Drafthouse,
third home now.
showing the Monster Squad and then hanging out with all the rad Bay Area Monster Squad fans.
That's super cool.
So that's a pretty robust next couple weeks. So hopefully we see all of you there. Kim, you can come from Ohio too. Just come on. Let's do that.
This one's for Steve-O.
The Steve-O?
Steve-O.
Steve-O.
No, we've seen Steve-O before.
We've seen Steve-O. I know this guy.
Oh, Squad for Mike. Happy birthday. Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. To Steve-O.
yes, Gemma, the banter between Ryan and I as the pilots would just be a whole other, it would be like a special, when the DVD came out, they would have to make a DVD of this movie because it would be a whole bonus feature, just an hour of Ryan and I flying an airplane and going back and forth with our usual antics. You're in wait, Kim Steele is in Northwest Ohio.
Hi, Steve.
What part of Northwest Ohio are you in, or are you in? Because we might have been close. We were Van Wert adjacent.
Van Wert.
We weren't in Van Wert. We were Van Wert
You're
adjacent.
Steve-O too, right?
I'm Steve-O also. Okay.
This one right
got it.
here.
Oh, this one right
Yeah.
here. It's Steve-O.
Van Wert.
This
is me right here. Put this down here.
Gemma wants to know any plans to do any conventions in England.
We were just there in Manchester, and
A year ago. That was
1 year ago,
crazy.
we were in Manchester, and a little bit before that, we were in. Where else were we? Well, we just did. the
We went down to London
screenings.
to the Prince Charles Cinema,
Yeah.
but we had something sort of in the works for this year to be back in the UK, and then we've been approached for stuff in Ireland and back in England itself. Love to go up in Edinburgh, but we'd love to go. We would go like that.
Where's
You just need the invitation.
Who's asking that?
Yeah, who was asking that?
Gemma.
Oh, here's
yeah.
Gemma.
Just asking.
Gemma.
We need to be invited. Like the
we
shows
gotta-
need to be like.
Make them invite us. 'Cause
Yes.
We want to come say hi.
Yes,
We
want
like
to go back.
England
We want
very,
to go
very
back.
much.
Big Downs Day One. Got it.
This person wants to know, has there ever been talks about a sequel and or a reboot?
There was they were going to remake it. They were going to do it. They decided not to, which is very good. It was going to be Mr.
Well, Rob Cohen, who is a big producer director now, was a young producer on the original Monster Squad. And when the resurgence kind of came out, they said, "Hey, this thing's got some legs," and teamed up with a guy you might have heard of named Michael Bay and his company Platinum Dunes. And they were working on a script and development of a new story of a reboot, like Ryan said. And then I think the timing, a lot of the fans didn't want that. But it could have been, it could have been a big, splashy, cool movie maybe. But right at the same time, Universal announced the Dark Universe was going to launch. Well, it had already launched, and Dracula Untold was the first installment apparently, but no one knew that, and no one went and saw it. And so they had to have Tom Cruise in the next one, and The Mummy didn't really work. And so the Dark Universe kind of went dark. They shut the lights off on the Dark
Kim's
Universe.
in Toledo.
Not far. It's a little south of you, right? A little south. Hour-ish.
I heard they have good hot dogs. It's according
Who said
to
that?
Jamie Farr's character on MASH.
Oh, you're going super deep, weird. A Jamie Farr reference for MASH? Okay, we'll go with that.
Klinger. He always talked about Toledo and the hot dogs.
The hot.
I can't remember the name. He had a name like I want someone's hot dogs. Was it someone?
Oh, so it was like a Gray's papaya,
Right.
but of Toledo.
Yes, exactly. Can't remember what it is. So if you remember, Kim, if you know that information, please.
So instead of Gray's
Let us
papaya,
know.
it was like
It was like
the-
Rick's hot dog. I need a
brown banana.
something hot dogs. Yeah.
Okay. Let us know if Toledo's known for hot dogs. And if we,
Let us
and if we can get
entertain
Mr.
you.
If we can get Mr. Farr, a chili dog or something.
Ew.
Awesome.
How we
Chili?
got? How we doing?
We are all done.
Oh, great.
Great.
So just a reminder to you guys, if you go to streamily.com/Monster Squad, you can see some of these prints that they signed here today. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Can you let the
Absolutely.
fans know where they can find you?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be in my bed in about 5 minutes. No, Ryan Lambert 111 is pretty much my handle across all things, mostly Instagram. So if you want to follow me there, that's where I am. I think it's Ryan Lambert 111 also on Twitter. I don't go there that often, but that's pretty much it. I also, if you want to like start following Kill Moi on Facebook again, because that we're about to put out a new record. So if you want to start following Kill Moi,
Yes.
I'm gonna make a page soon, and we're gonna get that going. So there's a new record coming out very soon, probably sometime next year.
Finally.
It's about
Finally.
Finally.
And if you like Kill Moi music, which you should because it's rad, a good place to hear a little Kill Moi tune is in the background in the credits of Wolfman's Got Nards, the documentary. Ryan and his bandmates were gracious enough to add their awesome sounds to the score of that film, which made it really rad. So that was kind of cool to have that part of that, right?
It was cool to watch the film on the big screen, and then all of a sudden, music that I made with my band in like a little studio somewhere is now on the big screen.
That's right.
That's cool to see.
And that's what's interesting about Wolfman's Got Nards is no one is in or on or touched that movie or contributed to it that wasn't either a part of it or a fan in some way. It wasn't like some rando people worked on this movie. Everybody, that touched it was connected to it. And so we loved having, the music and that. So speaking of, you can follow at The Squad Doc on Instagram and Twitter for information on Wolfman's Got Nards. If you haven't seen that, please do. And then tell a friend, and then they go see it, and they do that thing. If you want to follow me for some reason, I don't know why, maybe to see pictures of Ryan and goofy videos, follow Andre Gower Official on Instagram and at Andre Gower on Twitter. That's where you can find us. We're hanging out or at our random appearances that we wind up at on the regular, like we mentioned a little while ago. And we'll see you in Texas in a couple of days.
And Gemma's going to invite us to Wales.
Wales Comic-Con, yes, always been on the list. Yeah, please reach out to them. That'd be rad.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Remember, you can go to streamily.com/Monster Squad or to see any of the other talent that we have coming up. If you ever have any questions, go to streamily.com or you can tag me on Instagram at Morgan Elizabeth Toll. Thanks, guys, so much. And we hope to see you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Squeezes.